Our Garage. Before we start this video, I just want to say that the guy who owns the Volvo, I know I've shown you a lot of his video, well, not a lot of his videos, I've given you the link to a lot of his stuff in his channel a lot, but he started doing vlogs on his channel and I was featured in one of them. Well, not featured. He went to get his wheels and I randomly, well, I was at home. It is in Norwegian, but you should go check that out. I will see if maybe, well, post captioning will work. And on top of that, there might be some translations happening there, so anyone could see it. Now, to the case of the day. This time, I've realized it's actually the first time I'm driving the Granada with its 2.6 V6 on camera. Now, I've had this engine in this car for well over a month. I still haven't shot it. I have showed you that the car has gotten its L88 hood scoop on it. And I also have shown you the video where I was about to swap the engine while the 2.3 was on its way out and the 2.6 was sitting on the garage floor. But I have swapped the engine. It did solve a lot of my problems. Oil pressure is now at steady center of the dial. Revs, I can easily rev this thing. I did just a few minutes ago actually rev this thing out to 5,500, which is red line. And that was while warm. And with the 2.3 it did 4,500 before it died. Other than that, engine seems pretty good. I have an oil leak that I think might be oil pan. I actually tightened almost every single bolt on that oil pan one entire lap after I installed it and drove it. I swapped out the instrument lights from regular, you know, one of these bulbs to one of these, well, if I can just get it, green LED ones. It makes the interior look a lot more complete because the clock down in the center console lights up green and now the gauges do too. But, well, you can only see them in the dark because the light is not that strong. But, well, you don't need light in them on the day anyway. Now, I've also showed you that I have worked on getting V8 mounts ready. I have a mock-up pair ready. They are made in a I think it's 0.7 or 0.9 millimeter sheet metal, with a few bead rolls in it just to keep some structural integrity to it, because if I just installed them the way they were, they would have just flopped together under the weight of that 289. I haven't gotten around to fix that yet. The way inspections work in Norway on keeping your plates on, car has to be shown every 2 years, and that is due for my dad's Falcon right now. And he is swapping out his exhaust and transmission before he does that inspection, which means that I will have the transmission I'm going to use ready soon as it gets out of his car. And then I will put that trans behind the 289 after I've mocked up the mounts for the 289 so it actually sits as far forwards and up as I want it. Now, right now it's a little bit too far back, and I also need to get a rear sump oil pan because, well, the Granada needs a rear sump. And I tried to install headers the way the engine sits in that green Granada right now, but that didn't work because the headers would hit the firewall just barely. So I was thinking I could bash the headers so to fit, or I could just modify that turn a little bit, because it is the one tube that goes really far back and then down on both sides. So I figured I could modify that one a little bit to fit, but I figured out it would be easier to just well, get the engine set it where it's supposed to be first and then see if it hits. I don't think it will. And I think it's going to move far enough forwards. It's about 2 inches. It has to move forwards, and there's not, well, 2 inches of, and it's not 2 inches where it's hitting. It might be barely 1, so I might have an inch to go. Anyway, and with that mounted, I will get that transmission bolted up to the engine so I can figure out how to build a cross member for the trans to fit it to the original mounts on the Granada. Then I'm hoping and praying that the factory drive shaft for the Granada is the right length to put it behind one of those American Ford transmissions. I'm not sure, but I think it is, because from all I've heard from when they built the V8 Granadas down in South Africa, they took a standard 3-liter chassis and just put a V8 in that. Now, I don't think they might have modified the transmission, well, modified the transmissions or drive shafts at all. I'm hoping that it is the factory drive shaft that bolted up, well, not bolted up, but went onto the spines of that top loader. And luckily, it is the same spines on the top loader as the 3-speed manual that you got in, well, say a Mustang, Falcon, Fairlane, that sort of stuff. I haven't decided on where to get the engine yet. Part of me wants to take it out of the Fairlane because that engine is just rebuilt. Well, rebuilt, it's repacked. What I did to that engine, I replaced every single seal and gasket all through the engine. Never touched any bearings. Didn't take the pistons out. Replaced the timing chain because that was rattling. That's why I pulled the engine out of the car in the first place. And I ended up replacing the water pump as well. Then, after a little thinking, because I mean, I don't want to pull the engine out of the Fairlane, but if I do, then I need to get another engine for that, and that car needs, well, final body work and a new brake master cylinder, because that one, well, it leaks all the fluid back into the car. Finally, I can pass that bus I've been stuck behind for ages. Thank you very much, bus. Now, as I was starting to say in the start of this video with this thing, it has its L88 hood scoop, it has a 2.6. The 2.6 actually does run pretty good. It's not mind-blowing performance. It still has the Roddy carburetor that was on the 2.3, which means it doesn't idle well. I can't really lift off for intersections because it'll stop. And, well, put it this way, speed limit on this road, it is 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles an hour. I will drop down to 70, which is 45, and floor it, and 80. This thing takes about as long to go from 70 to 80 as, well, a Tesla does 0 to 60. Well, 0 to 100 kilometers. So then again, I have gotten summer tires on this thing, and it sticks to the road like, well, I'm not going to say it sticks good, but it sticks a lot better than it used to, and it sticks a lot better than a lot of my other cars. Now, it is gutless in comparison to some of the other things I have. The Aspen, it ran like a, yeah. I like to say it that back when I was driving it, when people asked how fast it is. The national speed limit in Norway is 110 kilometers an hour. That is the top speed you can go anywhere legally. And it did the national limit in first at Buffalo. But you could rev first gear out to 110. I'm talking kilometers an hour. Second gear, you could rev it out to 170. And third, you didn't really know because the speedo stopped at 200 and you weren't halfway done with 30. But, you know, that's something I was used to driving 2 years ago. And while I can still feel the need to get back in that car, it is still sitting in the weeds at home. And it needs a few parts, because when I built the Dart, I had to rob a few parts off of the Aspen. But I think I have most of the parts I need. The thing I don't have is money enough to run that car, because it drank a lot of fuel. On 100 kilometers, it would drink 28 liters. Now, that is not particularly healthy. Well, not for me at least, because that means there's going to be no food for me, because the Aspen needs a lot of fuel. Oh yeah, Monster Energy drink. Sponsor me, please. Back to the case. I've been thinking about maybe selling one of my cars. I don't want to. I really don't. None of them is really something that I could get rid of. I can get rid of my green Granada. That is going to the scrap heap after I'm done getting a V8 mounted into it and getting all the mounts and stuff ready. So I know that I can just drop one into here. But when that is done, I mean, there is a given number you get for scrap cars here, and that is 3,000 kroner, which is not a lot, to be fair. It is the bottom price you have to pay for any car at all, and at that point it's usually a scrap heap. But I also have a Volvo 245, a wagon, obviously from the name, from the 70s. I still haven't seen it. I got it along with the green Granada, and I still haven't looked at it at all. I just know that if that car is good enough, I can sell it. If it's not, then I can take the bits that are good enough and sell those, and scrap the rest. At that point, I would have $6 grand to use my car. Problem is, none of the cars I want are anywhere near costing $6 grand. I have gotten a serious hard-on for 1968 Mustang Fastbacks because of Bullet. I really, really want one. 4-speed big block car. And Highland Green, of course. But, I mean, by the time I can save up enough money to buy one the way it is, price for them are now, that price is gonna be doubled at least by the time I get that close to having enough money. Then there are other cars, but those are still either extremely difficult to find around here or, you know, expensive. 68 to 70 Charger, expensive. Challenger, expensive. 58 Plymouth Fury, expensive. And yeah, I know I want a lot of movie cars. That's because those cars are awesome. And, well, there are a lot of movie cars I don't want, but I want a lot of those old American ones. And, you know the C10 that I worked on last video? That, it was torture going past that car and truck every single day. It was like, I want a truck. I really want a truck. I want a short bed, not a long bed. And I was like, if I could get like a 73, 74 Chevy C10 short bed step side, or flare side, I don't remember what they're called. I would build a muscle truck, well, clone. Probably not as fast, but that's something that I would like. Or, you know, like a late 60s Ford F-Series. Or even a 55 Ford. 55 Ford F100. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop dreaming about cars now. I'm close up on 15 minutes, and well, I've been rambling on about cars for a long time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Take care. See you next video.